Now listen, for those of you that are not new to the channel, I know what you're probably thinking. Me, of all people, defending the amazing Lightspeed? Now listen, me and Lucas may not be on the best of terms, and we may have had stuff going on in the past.
Be mixed. That's what I'm thinking. You gotta be mixed, bro. This man, the kid got nostrils like a You can't tell me he's not mixed. That's a right there. Those are nostrils. Daddy or mom gotta be black, bro. Those are nostrils. I know double aim when I see them. Those are nostrils. His dad or his mom is black. Whether or not he chooses to admit it or identify as such, those are nostrils. I know them. Okay? I know my own. This is right here. Okay.
But throughout the past couple months, we've talked about his game that he's making, the Spider Combat Arena. And you know, we did a couple streams talking about the game. And that's pretty much what this video is, because some guy named Steve, he made a video basically like trying to say that Lucas's like thing is a scam, his Kickstarter is like a scam, the game's not gonna be made, it looks wonky, whatever. But this video is so bad that it brought me out here to defend Lucas. So let's get into it.
Crowdfunding is an entrepreneur's biggest luxury. Gone are the days of pitching to millions of investors hoping that at least one of them gives you any money at all. Now you can just lie in front of everybody and they'll still give you money regardless. One of the main sites that seems to be a go-to for aspiring entrepreneurs is Kickstarter, which is why now it is filled with a bunch of scams or just products that honestly should never even have been an idea in the first place. Which is why today I wanted to go over some of them and just look at how ridiculous most of them actually are. The first one we have is actually made by another content creator, so on behalf of all YouTubers, sorry. It's called the Spider Combat Arena Prototype. Just from first glance, I think you can immediately see a big problem here.
Whoa. I don't know what you're talking about, but have you seen this trailer for the game?
And for those of you who constantly want to say, well, Lucas, well, why don't you do something? Why don't you make a game? I'm glad you asked, Pimpin'. Because as a matter of fact, I am going to make a game. God be willing, all right? With the help of the community and those who actually enjoy Spider-Man, I'm going to be creating the Spider Combat Arena.
People are starting to keep asking me, am I back? They keep asking me if I'm back. I haven't given them an answer yet. But I'm starting to think, yeah, I'm back. No, Lucas is back.
Giggle like a fucking schoolgirl, like he's getting fingered for the first time.
I don't think you want to see that man. That man's been locked up. They won't let me out. That man's been locked up. Over in the, get away.
Are you sucking your dad's balls right now? Are you sucking your dad's balls right now?
How could you not be excited for this masterpiece that's about to drop? On a serious note, let's get back to the video.
First glance, I think you can immediately see a big problem here. It would be a miracle if Sony or Disney don't sue this man to oblivion. It's so funny because he does try refuting it by referencing another game I actually played called Spider Fighter. If you don't remember or haven't watched that video, Spider Fighter 3 was literally just Spider-Man made in Unity. The difference between Spider Fighter and this game is the fact that Spider Fighter at least didn't have a Spider-Man model. Sure, you can say the guy was literally just Spider-Man copy and pasted, but he didn't look like Spider-Man, so he was technically free of all charges.
Now, Lucas may not have the biggest brain in the world, but I don't think he's stupid enough to literally make the model for the game a blatant ripoff of Spider-Man, at least character design-wise. For example, there's another fan-made game that actually looks like incredibly good, made by a dude on Twitter named Jib, who I've actually got the chance to talk to a couple times. I actually talked about and showed off the game in one of my videos that I made previously, and for his pre-visuals that he shows for his game, he's using like Spider-Man skins and Spider-Man models. However, when the game actually comes out, he's not going to be using those models because of copyright. And I think it's pretty obvious that Lucas probably will not use this in the game.
Either way, copyright aside, let's just pretend like this game was something unique. For starters, the developer literally advertises the game as having a regen function where you can regenerate your health.
The spider in the game has a healing factor. Not anything like, Wolverine, but a decent one. So as long as you stay out of damage and avoid it, well, your health will slowly regenerate.
As if that's something unique and other games don't have.
Why is that a problem if it's not unique? Not every element of a game needs to be unique. Also, the thing that he's talking about is just the general bare bones idea for what he wants to, get across. And me and him have actually had discussions about changing the healing system and doing something maybe even different. It's the development process process of a game, things will change and general ideas will be pushed across at first. And if you actually tune into these streams, some of the ideas that I gave him, if he's able to execute them and the developers he gets are able to execute that idea, go watch either of these streams for more context. But if he's able to implement some of the ideas that he's laid across and that I have gave him, then that would be a very unique Spider-Man game.
You're getting caught up on the specifics, right? Okay. The issue is not the specifics. The issue is as far as innovation, right? The issue as far as texturing and giving a more compounded experience to the player. That's what that is.
So this is just speculation too, but the concept art he showcases might be generated by AI. There's no 100% confirmation, obviously. However, when you take a look at it, first glance, Mary Jane, or what did she call him? Michelle Jones?
Maya Johnson, also known as MJ.
The art style kind of looks like AI, but that isn't obviously enough to say it is. However, when you take a look at the literal Spider-Man right under it, you can see that the spider logo in the chest goes out of the shirt and onto the jacket.
One, you haven't showed proof that what he showed is AI art, and two, even if it was AI art, that wouldn't really be a problem for the pre-visual stage. If you're using AI to get general ideas of what you want to get across, and then go in and actually, fix and do your own thing with the idea that the AI gave you, then that's not really a problem, especially for concept art.
And here's also another really big problem that a lot of Kickstarters actually do, and it's the promise to donate money to other charities. It's great that you're trying to help other people. The problem is game design takes up so much money, an absurd amount, that any money you do get, you should be using to fucking make your damn game. That's not even mentioning that the goal here is only $25,000. That isn't even close to enough to pay a single developer for a year. So I really don't know where that money is going, unless he's just gonna hire literal Shine Factory children. They also originally raised $50,000. I know, right? Oh my god, who would have guessed? But apparently Kickstarter assumed that they were actually fraudulent. So all of that money practically went down the shitter, and they had to restart almost from the beginning. And wouldn't you know it, they raised $25,000 again. Sure, it's not $50,000 like it was last time, but they did still hit their goal, which is honestly outrageous.
Okay, so there's so many problems with what you're doing right now. First of all, you didn't even read the thing that you put on the screen properly. The giving back section literally says, "We're thrilled to share a significant development that goes beyond the digital realms of our game. A portion of the proceeds generated from the game will be dedicated to this charity." That doesn't mean that the budget for the game is going to be donated. What he probably means is that the money that he makes from the game, a portion of that would be donated to the charities. And then the other problem is you bring up AAA game development prices and then compare it to an indie game. If you know anything about game development, even the slightest bit of a clue, you would know how stupid that is to do. It takes one Google search to see why this argument is really bad. And if he gets 5 or 6 people and they are willing to work on this game for a certain amount of money, maybe they all get 5 to 6K, depending on how much more money that Lucas puts into the project, then it's not impossible for that to happen. And then the third thing about the whole Kickstarter, getting defunded, Kickstarter took away some of the money and then it kind of went down the drain. That's not really Lucas's fault. I don't even know the full context for that whole thing, neither do you, but that wouldn't fall on Lucas's problem. That would be a problem with what Kickstarter did. And I'm pretty sure if it was detected to be fraudulent or whatever, like donations, then if it was real people, then their money would probably be sent back to them, or it just wasn't real money to begin with, so nobody's even losing money.
And this is also something someone else pointed out, but even if this game doesn't fully get released, it will never be a scam. And you know why? Because the entire Kickstarter only promises to release a prototype, meaning that he could literally just release a fucking Spider-Man fighting around in a test build area, and that would technically not count as fraudulent. That is absolutely outrageous, and I feel terrible that people even put money into it in the first place. The creator in question did come out to say thank you for funding the project, but he never made a single video past the Kickstarter trailer. Quick disclaimer, at the time of editing this, he has made a total of 1 video on the fucking game, and it wasn't even a video, it was a live stream where he was going to give updates, but the entire 2.5 hours of his stream were just him talking. He didn't show a single lick of anything that remotely resembles development unless he was watching another video. So I think my point kind of still stands.
One, you bring up how people would be disappointed or whatever if the thing was just a prototype, but the Kickstarter literally says it's going to be a prototype. So people wouldn't be getting scammed, they'd be getting what they paid for. Also, anybody that donates to this kind of thing, they know it's a gamble. Just like companies when they invest in a project. If it doesn't meet expectations, that's not a scam. Also, you said he only made one video about, like, talking about the game. My man, not only has he done 2 streams with me and SK, but he also has multiple other videos where he's talking about the thing and doing, like, animations for the game. And those streams aren't just yapping. They're literally talking about the development of the game and the mechanics to add to it. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire section of his video where he talks about, like, Lucas and the game. The rest of the video is talking about other stuff that I have no clue what the hell he's talking about. It just doesn't correlate to Lucas at all, so it's just like, I don't care to go through the rest of the video. But, yeah, I never thought I'd be defending the amazing Lucas. But, you know, things happen in life, you know, things happen. Appreciate you all for watching the video, and, yeah.